Yep.
Cool. Alright, so hi everybody. For those of us who don't know, we're Team SignCube. So over summer we've been developing this system as a team of 4. So I'm Steph, this is Daniel, Frank and James. And yeah, so just a little bit of a background to this project. So this system has been developed as a collaboration between Enable Development and Monash University students. So the main aim of this project has been to develop a sign language dictionary and capture system, which consists of a mobile application to capture video content and a website to display this content. So yeah, that's basically just the core functionality of this project. It's hoped that this will achieve 2 main things. So one is a language preservation function, as well as an educational function. So throughout the course of this project, we've had to modify the scope of it a bit as we learned what was and was not possible. But you'll hear about that a little bit later in the presentation. So the main use case for this system is in the context of developing countries, where online resources for language learning might not be as readily accessible, or they may not exist online at all. So the plan is to engage with disabled people's organisations on the ground in these countries to roll out this system in the most effective way. So we hope to be able to empower deaf communities in enabling them to record their own sign languages and have this as both a learning tool as well as an online repository of many different languages around the world.
So I'll briefly talk about the Android app, how it works, and what's still left to be done on the app. So it's a bit hard to see that. Okay, the Android app allows you to record multiple videos on the device offline, and then at a later date upload them. That's to the server. That's the main idea. It doesn't do any other, well, it's not meant to do any other features besides that. So I was going to point this out, but so there's a drop down here, and you can select the sign language, and you can enter in the word that you're trying to sign. So for example, if you're trying to sign a word in British Sign Language, it will automatically select the root language for British Sign Language, which is English. So that appears there. So there's a list of languages which appears, and should I even? I don't know. But yeah. Can you go back? I'll just skip that bit. Just can't see anything. The next stage is to record a video. So there's an outline of where you are in the video, just to so that you're correctly positioned. Then you just hit start recording to start recording video. And then after you've finished recording video, the next screen shows a video review stage where you can see if the video looks alright or not, and then choose to progress or not progress to the next stage, which is, to record another video. So after you finish recording, say, 10 or 20 videos, you can move on to uploading the videos. So right now we have an automatic encode and upload stage, so you just hit this button and then it will automatically upload the video. So right now the video format is yet to be decided. It's up to you guys whether you want to have a low quality video, which is small in size, or a large quality video, which is big in size, and that's because maybe the place you're uploading the video wouldn't have a very good internet connection, so you need to really keep the video small. We also have some sort of authentication just to ensure that random people can't upload videos to the server, just anything to the server. So this is what the authentication part is. I'll just go over that quickly. So some other general missing features is that you can't currently view the videos which you've recorded onto the device offline. It's up to you guys whether that's an important feature or not that you need to add. But that's one thing which is missing. Secondly, video trimming. So when you record a video, if you imagine you press the button, but then it's recorded you pressing, like, putting a finger there and then taking it away. So you really need to add video trimming to prevent needing moderators to just go through every video and trim the start and the end of the video. So that isn't there yet, but it could be added in the next part of the project. Right, so Frank will now talk about website and database.
Hi everybody, I'm Frank. So I'm taking care of the website and mainly the backend management. So as a website, you want it looks good to people, but you also want to manage it by a normal person, don't need a technical guy to manage all this video and different relationship between the video, language, and categories. That's the landing page for the website. Basically, I have a demo welcome video. You can do it, any video, you can do it in a sign language saying welcome to the SignCube. It makes it very nice to those deaf people. And you can also, you don't have to see, but it's basically a feedback form. You can fill in, say what we need to do, and what is maybe some sign language is wrong to the, not to the normal people, but to the deaf people they think it's wrong, and they can report it. So that's the login page for the admins. So far we decided to just open it to authorized people only, not like everyday people can sign up and go in. Here is the backend control panel. So you can manage like categories, definitions. Mostly you want to use is creating new word relating to all these language categories and edit it. So when go into there, sorry how to say, but here is select sign language. So for example, you put in Auslan, it will search into the database and find Auslan for you, automatically tell you what is the spoken language for the Auslan. Then you can either search for word, say I search for apple. It may already existing for Auslan. Then you can't add a new one. You can just select that one, and you can edit whatever is the existing things for this Apple word. Otherwise, you can just create another one. So the next step will be you upload videos. So you can upload multiple videos, and you can instantaneously preview the video. And you decide to, there's a delete button here. You can just remove it. It can be an existing word, so it will be preloaded all the videos you connected with this word. After that, you click this button, it will take you to the next step, which is you define the word. So there's two ways. One way is like you have 4 videos. You can have, mostly you have same definition for all these 4 videos. For like everyday use spoken language, they think this way, but actually for sign language it's different. It's like you can have different meanings for different sign language. Even if it's all for Apple, it can be different. That's most of them. Then there's the front end. So it's basically let you to filter by categories. So you can say Auslan, and it will show Auslan. It will A to Z. You can filter it out. Otherwise, you can filter it. You can see all. You want to see all English ones. You can filter by language, and you can just directly search the thing. So that's most of it. What can be like extended is we don't have the enough time and budget to do a proper learning system. So it's more, for the front-end user, it's more like a dictionary instead of a learning system. So for people taking on, they can actually develop it using the existing structures. They can easily extend it to a learning system. James will follow.
Hey guys, I'm James. I looked after getting in touch with a lot of the DPOs. We thought it was integral to the project to get input as to how we should design the actual website, how we should roll it out, what sort of things we should include and not include. So we started with just sending a bunch load of emails to all the deaf organisations around Melbourne. A lot of them gotten back with us, and overall, we got 10 DPOs around the world interested in the project. So they're ready for testing, they know about the project, they're in contact with us, so we thought that was pretty good. The first organisation we actually met with face-to-face was VicDeaf. We met with Michael and Janelle, and they had both been signing for the last 20 years. They really were excited with the potential of the project, and they were excited to see where it goes, and they really wanted us to stay in touch. They gave us a few ideas about the front-end design, so we should remove all words, we should keep the pictures. Any words that are on the page, we should associate a video of someone signing it. That would be really good. So that sort of advice we built on. But, you know, we wanted to take that back to the design and development stage, and integrate it into the service. So yeah, we really tried to reach out as far into the world as we could, because we knew that Australia already has Auslan, and they've got SignBank, which is an existing database of all the, pretty much all, like most words in in Auslan. So we wanted to reach out to developing communities, mostly Southeast Asia, West Africa, places that needed the service most. So we got in touch with Hannah Long from Engineers Without Borders in Asia, and she got us in touch with Lily Gott. And Lily Gott is the founder of Extraordinary Horizons. They most recently just got Singaporean Sign Language recognised as the official sign language of Singapore. So that's a great accomplishment. So getting in touch with them, we think is a great step for the future of outrolling this project. The main idea behind SignCube was to enable deaf people. We wanted to give them the ability to speak out, be heard around the world. And we think we can accomplish that with the service we have. We've got the basic outline of the database now. All we need to do is fill it. We've got contacts all around the world, so if we stay in touch with them, I think it's good that we'll actually get the project out there. Talking about DPOs around the world, we've got a European contact who started Spread the Sign. That's pretty much trying to accomplish what we are, except they're limited to Europe. We've got a contact who's the administrator for the Brazilian Sign Language. We've got a few more contacts in South America and North America, so it's all building up, and we think it should be, giving this project to the next phase will enable them to take it further. I'll let Steph go through some more challenges that we faced.
So just in terms of some of the challenges that we've had along the way in the development of this project. So obviously we've run into a couple that have really, I guess, caused us to alter how we think about the project and the goals that we were hoping to achieve. So one of the main ones that came up was the result of a conversation that we had with Dr. Adam Shembry, who's a linguist who specialises in sign language grammars, and Philip Borders, who's a program officer at CBM Australia. So through discussions with them about the possibility of preserving languages, we learned that attempting to fully preserve languages wasn't really a practical option or really possible. So we knew that we were going to have to narrow our scope in that respect. Also, we were warned that it would be quite difficult to achieve our initial goals without the aid of a linguist, so that was something else that we had to consider. And as a result of that conversation, as well as some other communications we've had with other members of the deaf community, we were made aware of the really political nature of what it was that we were trying to do, especially as a group of hearing individuals attempting to create a service for deaf individuals. So it was strongly recommended that we have somebody deaf on board, somebody who's well versed in that space, both to get a better understanding on and perspective on our project, as well as to facilitate communication with deaf communities. And we were also warned that there might be some tensions between governments and certain deaf communities in some countries, and that we might run into some issues in attempting to take SignCube to those sorts of countries. So as a result of some of these challenges that we've faced, we have some recommendations in terms of where to take this in the next phase of development. So the main one really is to have greater deaf community involvement in this project, especially since in this first phase it has been quite technical and it has been a team of hearing individuals. Just really so we can just to increase sensitivity in terms of the needs of the project, as well as to have those open lines of communication with the deaf community. Ideally in the form of a team member, who is well versed in that space. And in terms of the linguistic complexity of the project, we've had to narrow the scope of it a bit. So we've been recommended to stick to kind of like simpler word categories, maybe like place names or numbers. So these categories are both linguistically unambiguous, but also represent a real-world use case for this service. So, for example, an individual who wants to travel overseas, for reasons of cultural sensitivity, might want to learn the local sign for a particular place name. So that's something that they could search ahead of time using this service. And finally, in light of the politics that we've been exposed to, we would really stress the importance of thoroughly researching DPOs and organisations on the ground in those countries, just to make sure that the contacts that we make are the most appropriate for this project. Cool, so that's kind of the end of our presentation proper. I think we're fielding questions now, if anybody has any.
Well done, Percy.
Yeah. I have a question, I guess, if you're good to take questions. So one of the, obviously the website relies on the videos, and I know you had the low quality, you were talking about either doing a low quality upload or a high quality upload. And again, the recommendations might be that on the front page of that website, for there to be videos, or very graphics heavy, I guess, rather than text. Do you think that, I see that maybe there could be an issue with low bandwidth, people with low bandwidth or low capacity, like, I mean, I guess there's no real way to get around that. But
No, I guess
it
at
all
the end of the day,
depends like on how much you want to spend on the like server side.
Oh, but
Like we can downgrade like the videos. Like if you just want to pay like a few bucks server side, we can downgrade to very poor quality.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you want to have a really good video and you are already afford to it, we can do it in a very high definition.
Looking at it from the user side,
from the
Yeah.
side,
Yeah.
it's internet
when
connection
we were
must be
talking,
good.
so we got in touch with Daniela, I think, from DAS, which is the Disabled Association Society.
yeah,
And she gets in touch with, she works in Alice Springs, and she got in touch with a whole network of people based around Australia who work in remote communities and have deaf clients who come up to them with, they try to help them. And she was telling us that the service out there isn't great. A lot of people have mobile phones rather than laptops and computers. They can get 3G sometimes, but the regional community centres will provide a Wi-Fi link, and that's where they usually go to get their internet. So she advised us to sort of tap into those services which go out there, speech pathologists, interpreters, stuff like that, and really roll out the project through that way. And that way we'd be able to see the service go through the best avenue with the greatest internet connection, I guess.
so the association with the SignCube would be with that community Wi-Fi spot or whatever, like
Exactly.
there's that link kind of thing, so
Yeah.
people have them. That's a good idea. It's a good way around it, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea of people being able to learn the sign language before they go on holiday.
Yeah.
By the way, I think that's a really cool.
Yeah, so that was the main aim, was people who were curious about learning sign language of a different country. But then we sort of realised that we can have another aim, which is interpreters usually go out to remote communities, and if an organisation ever has to change an interpreter, you don't want them going there with no back knowledge of the sign language. So this would be a good service for them.
Like as a training.
Exactly.
Yeah,
as
it's
a
amazing.
source of, yeah. So, yeah.
Question.
Okay, thanks for the presentation, guys. So I wanted to ask, so for the people who are actually recording themselves, do they have any incentives to record themselves? Like just monetary incentives or etc. Yeah.
Not at the moment.
No.
Yeah, we didn't have
Set
any.
that up.
Yeah, we didn't really channel any of the money.
yeah,
to
we don't have any
funding.
of that kind of framework in place.
Yeah.
yet.
I can maybe answer that. So some of the DPOs, and James can talk about the ones he spoke to specifically,
Yeah.
they're advocates for their language and for their community. So where it actually could be a tangible mechanism is if there is benefit in this, and these guys think there is, through all those reasons, then this can be a tool that those groups use. So I personally don't think individuals will be doing a lot of kind of upload themselves, but I think the organisational leads will. So these are groups that already produce things like sign language dictionaries, but they do it in printed form. So they spend time and money and resources to create visual drawings of what signs are. So this could be a way that, in lieu of or in addition to, this could be a tool that they use for that. So the same resources that fund, support and develop those projects could be used this, and this could be an asset for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Question. So, I mean, like, great work so far with the limited sort of resources you guys have and I suppose experience in this side. A tricky question is, how do you guys feel with, I suppose, encountering those challenges between the social challenges, particularly being, having hearing and working, trying to do a technical solution in the deaf community? Are you guys deterred by those things that you found, or, is this, I'd just like to know sort of your thinking and feeling about it when you encounter those challenges?
I didn't feel any pressure or I didn't feel uncomfortable at any point. Throughout the meetings, we got told that we didn't have a deaf person on board, and that wasn't good. If we wanted to go to the World Federation of the Deaf, we needed a deaf person on board. We wouldn't be taken seriously. The way they put it was that without us, we're not included, so we're not going to help you, which is completely fair. there have been a lot of hearing-abled people who have gone into deaf communities or deaf services and tried to help them and don't really understand the situation, the sensitivity of it all, and end up insulting them or just making them uncomfortable in some sort of way. That's not what we wanted to do. So we completely understood, and we took the advice on board, and we're definitely getting a deaf person on board for the next stage of the project.
Yeah, and I think just in addition to that, especially in this first phase of the project, where all the development has been sort of quite technical, it's been easy to have a technical team on board to get all this sorted. But now that the kind of framework is up, I think it's really important, you know, to increase community involvement from here on in.
James, you've done a lot of outreach stuff. Who are the groups that you think would be, like, you mentioned they've got quite a few, like a dozen or so.
Yeah.
Who are the groups you think would be the ones you would recommend that the collaboration starts with to do some of that user testing, engagement, that you think are the most interested or have the most to gain?
Well, depends which way you want to go. You want to stay in Australia, you go Daniela from DAS. She's given us contacts to people in North Queensland, South Australia, West Australia. So we've got contacts around Australia. If we want to reach across the borders, Lily Goff from Extraordinary Horizons, I think, is a great place to start. She's ready for a Skype interview and she wants to know more about the project. There's Hannah Long, who's from Engineers Without Borders in Asia. She's got a lot of contacts in Southeast Asia, so I think that'd be a good place to start. Going across to Europe as well, we've got the representative from Spread the Sign, who's really excited to sort of spread this whole this bug we've got of trying to share sign language and help everyone out. So that's a really good contact, and he told us, you know, keep hope, you know, just stay in touch and keep hope, because we will be able to get it done. So yeah, I think Extraordinary Horizons would be the first place to start. Engineers Without Borders in Asia, would be a great place to sort of send the project team or get it based there, because I don't think in Australia this service will be as appreciated as it would be in regions like Southeast Asia.
Cool. I have a question, pretty simple one. So, I mean, you guys are still students at university and probably studying, you guys are all studying engineering, yes? Very technical disciplines. So through this project and this exposure, particularly in the disability space, do you, has it changed the way you, I suppose, you approach engineering, and has it sort of made you, give you more ideas of career paths down the future, or around particularly the social justice stuff? Just out of curiosity. So yeah, from any one of you, all of you, that'd be great.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, in terms of exposure, like I've never really, you know, been in any sort of position in any sort of disability space. So it's been a really, really great learning experience, and it's really nice to know, you know, that there are other avenues apart from just working for large multinationals. Like, it's really cool to be involved in a small project like this, and to really see something come off the ground, in just with just a team of students in a place like this. I think it's really, really great to have had this experience.
Yeah, definitely. Sort of helping people, just in general, is a great place to start your engineering career, because you've got the tools to problem solve, and usually they're wasted on big organisations and silly consumer products and stuff like that. Whereas if we use them to better the world, I think that's real noble. So yeah, no, definitely changed my sort of career path.
For me, just practice my knowledge basically and grab some common knowledge on sign language, because I have no idea on sign language and the deaf community. Not even the not-for-profit organizations. I have never been involved in this field before, so it's good to have some common ideas and practice what I already know.
Daniel?
Yeah, and it's really something new for me. Like, especially even though I was mainly doing technical stuff, attending meetings and witnessing all like the politics and all that involved in this sort of project. Yeah, that was something new. So it's interesting.
Final question? Yeah, one, Nick.
No, that's good.
I was
really impressed.
I think on behalf of the team, we'd like to thank Engineers Without Borders and Enable Development for both Makeshift Studios, the ability to sort of stay in touch and the workspace to actually provide this website. So yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Well done, team.
That's awesome.
Great work.
Well done.